There was a recent news report that over 100 children had been killed in Baltimore City over the last 5 years. And that was a 33% increase in the number of children murdered. These are kids who've been killed by gunfire, by child abuse, a homicide, intentional killing of a child. The Red Desk Project is really meant to represent those lives lost and what we can do to stop it from happening again. Each red desk symbolizes a child who's been murdered. These are kids who've been gunned down on the city streets or died as a result of child abuse. And for Child Abuse Awareness Month, which is April, we figured there was no greater form of child abuse than child homicide. And to be able to gather all 100 desks representing the 100 lives that have been lost over the last 5 years is a real symbol to say that we're not going to stand for this anymore, and we want the community to stand with us. When we hear about homicides on the news episodically, it's shocking. But when you gather them all together and you realize the amount of lives that have been lost, when you put 100 desks together representing 100 children who lost their lives, whose lives were cut short because of violence, it takes your breath away. And it really is the sort of thing that we needed to put together en masse so that people can drive by, walk by, and see it and realize that something terrible has happened and we can do something about it. We have a lot of partners in our effort around the Red Desk Project. First and foremost are our family members here at LifeBridge Health, the folks at Sinai, the folks in all the different various areas there who really came together to recognize that this isn't just a child abuse issue or a Center for Hope issue, but this is something that impacts all of our staff throughout LifeBridge Health. I mean, these are children who show up in our emergency departments. These are kids with injuries who show up in all of our places there that we respond to. We're also grateful to have other such partners as Baltimore City Schools who donated these desks there. They were so gracious to weigh in on a project like this there. Storyfarm, a local creative company, came up with the creative concept of the Red Desk Project there. CertaPro Painters of Columbia has been so generous with their time to be able to paint these desks as well. And we're looking for more community partners because this is an effort that should go for a long time until we can finally see those numbers drop. One of our hopes of the Red Desk Project is that this doesn't just end after 2 or 3 weeks, that it starts in Child Abuse Awareness Month and it extends into May, which is Trauma Awareness Month and Mental Health Awareness Month, but then it really becomes a living art installation, that these desks can travel throughout the city to various sites so people can also appreciate and weigh in on the impact of these lives lost. Whether we put them in front of City Hall, whether we put them in front of Camden Yards, whether individual companies take a couple desks and put them in front of their place of business or house of worship, we want people to get involved and engaged in the Red Desk Project. And I think people can go to reddesk.org and they can learn more about what the project is and how they can get involved here so they can help spread a message to end child homicide in Baltimore.